He hits another.
Well, that's what he can do really well. He can stroke that fridge.
Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. It's Coops Hoops, and today I'm going to discuss what the heck is wrong with the Los Angeles Lakers. Before I get into that, please like and subscribe as we'll be discussing basketball topics all year. Now let's get into it. At the making of this video, Lakers are currently one game above 500 at 20-19 and 7th in the West. They're on a 3-game winning streak, but they have come against teams below 500. The Rockets, Timberwolves, and the Kings. As a 7th seed, they are behind teams such as the Dallas Mavericks, the Nuggets minus Jamal Murray, and a surprise young team in Memphis. Also barely in front of the Clippers minus Kawhi. The Lakers before the season had expectations to be at least the top 3 seed or team in the West, with Utah and Phoenix being the other two contenders they would have to fight off. The re-emergence of the Warriors was a surprise, as they are currently the number 1 team in the entire NBA record-wise at 29-7. Even with this, the Lakers should still be a top 4 team in the West. They have at least 5 for sure Hall of Famers on their team, and traded a borderline 6 Hall of Famer in Rondo not too long ago. So why are they struggling to win games? Let's get into that. First reasons they struggle is because they are all old. The guys playing the most minutes are all old, and some of them are mostly past their primes. LeBron is now 37, playing the second most minutes in the NBA at 37. Russ at age 33 is playing almost 36 minutes per game. Carmelo is 37 years old, playing about 27 minutes per game off the bench. Dwight is 36, playing about 15 minutes. Avery Bradley's 31, playing 24 minutes per game. And DeAndre Jordan is 33, playing 13 minutes per game. One of your younger stars in Anthony Davis is playing 35 minutes per game, but he isn't affecting the game like he used to offensively and defensively, and is still injury riddled at the age of 28. The most used lineup of the season so far, with all 3 stars healthy at 4 games, is the lineup of Russ, Bazemore, LeBron, AD, and DeAndre Jordan. That lineup's average age is 32.6 years of age. Definitely one, if not the oldest, frequent starting lineups. More recently, with Anthony Davis injured, they've gone with a smaller and younger lineup, with LeBron at center to go with Russ, Avery Bradley, Malik Monk, and the 10-day hardship signee Stanley Johnson. This lineup has been a net positive of .17.4 and about 35.37 minutes together playing. We'll see if this lineup continues and if Anthony Davis will be willing to play center when he gets back from injury. With them being old, they struggle defensively. This brings me to the number 2 problem, which is defense. The Lakers' defensive rating this year is 14th in the NBA out of 30 teams, which is about the middle of the pack. Last year, the Lakers were 1st in defensive rating, and the year before that, they were 3rd. Frank Vogel is a defensive-minded coach, but in order for your schemes and rotations to work, you have to have the right personnel. The Lakers have players such as Carmelo Anthony, Wayne Ellington, Russell Westbrook, Taylor Horton-Tucker, and Malik Monk trying to play defense when they've never been really good defenders in their careers. Even LeBron at times has coasted on defense this year. I've seen plenty of possessions where LeBron just leaves his man for a wide open jumper or lets his man blow by him with no effort. Sometimes he doesn't even rotate and blames one of his teammates. He still can defend when he wants to, and it seems recently he's been making a better effort on that end. But in order for the Lakers to be contenders, they'll have to be better defensively. At least the top 5 defense. The number 3 thing that's wrong with the Lakers are the fit. They brought in one of the most polarizing players in league history, Mr. Triple-Double himself, Russell Westbrook. I've always watched him from afar on other teams and always wondered why he got so much hate and backlash. I always looked at the numbers he put up and the wins he would generate, especially after KD left, and always thought of him as a top player in the league and a superstar. The last few years though, as the injuries have accumulated and the athleticism has slightly declined, you can see the cracks starting to show in his game. It's unfortunate they have to come on the Lakers, one of the most recognizable brands and teams in the world. But right now, Russ is averaging about 19.5 points per game, 8 rebounds, 8 assists on 45% shooting, 30% from the 3, and 65% from the free throw. Not bad stats numbers wise, especially considered as almost a triple-double average, and his usage rate is his third lowest since his rookie and sophomore campaigns, but he's averaging the second most turnovers of his career, which means he's turning it over at an alarming rate. He has a league-leading 181 turnovers and counting in just 39 games so far this season. If he keeps this pace up, he'll have the second most turnovers of his career in a season, which is not what the Lakers need from a primary ball handler and decision maker. Everything would balance itself out if Russ was able to make outside jump shots, but he simply can't. He shoots just 30% from the 3 on about 4 attempts per game this year. His finishing and shooting 2-point range is at his third lowest of his career at about 49.9%. If he's not making shots at a high clip, not taking care of the ball, and not playing great defense, then what is he doing? For all the hustle and how hard he plays, when it comes to winning the big games, he won't be able to do it because of his decision making and lack of shot making. He had an alarming quote the other day after the Lakers win against the Timberwolves. He said, "I disagree with the point that the game wasn't going my way. My game is not predicated on shots or if I turn the ball over. I missed some shots, that's part of the game. I'm allowed to miss shots. I can do that. Like any other player, I can do that. I can turn the ball over too. I can do that. That's all part of the game. But when you watch a basketball game and figure out what impact is, making the right plays, boxing out, rebounding, whatever that may be, making the right play, making the right reads. That's all about being a basketball player." Now, to his credit, he has some points where when he says boxing out and rebounding, and also players will miss shots, it is a part of the game. But when he says making the right plays, more times than not, he's making the wrong play and giving the ball to the other team. And defensively, he loses track of his man and doesn't play sound, tight defense. He'll gamble for steals and get out of position, which forces rotations and wide open shots for the other team. I don't know how they can trade him, so they are probably stuck with him. If he can continue to cut down on the turnovers and play solid defense, the Lakers will have to take his inefficient jump shooting and rely on LeBron and AD for most of the scoring output. Right after making these analyses, he played a great game against the Kings where he had 0 turnovers in about 30 or so minutes. His first game like this since 2016. If he plays like that where he limits his turnovers, then the Lakers will be fine with him at the helm. Lastly, at number 4, one of the biggest reasons for the Lakers' struggles are injuries. They've had 21 different starting lineups in 39 total games. Main players such as LeBron, AD, Malik Monk, Avery Bradley, Taylor Horton-Tucker have all missed games due to various reasons. LeBron has missed 12 games due to injury, which they were 5-7 in those missed games. Anthony Davis has missed 12 games and counting. Those are the two main stars you rely on game in and game out. Russell Westbrook was brought in for reasons like the beginning of the season when LeBron was out with injury. Him and AD together were supposed to keep the boat afloat while LeBron rested. It hasn't worked out that way so far, and so LeBron is probably having one of the best seasons ever, carrying most of the load by averaging 28.6 points per game, 7 rebounds, 6.5 assists, while shooting 52 from the field, 37 from the 3, and 77 from the free throw. These are ridiculous numbers from a guy in year 19 at the age of 37. We've never seen it before, and hopefully we can continue to see it for as long as possible. These are the main 4 things plaguing the Lakers this year. If they can't correct their defense and contain Russell Westbrook and get healthy, they're in danger of missing the playoffs entirely or a first round exit 2 years in a row. With that being said, thanks for watching. It's Coops Hoops. I'll be back with more videos. Subscribe and like, and I'll be back next time. See you soon.